The Steel Timber Sports Series U.S. Relay Championship continues from the Lumberjack feud in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Semifinal action about to take place, but before that, special recognition to Brooke Boyer from Mount Shasta, California. Brooke was the winner of the Cintas and Carhartt True American Hero Award, recognized for her work in extreme environments as a wastewater treatment plant operator. Semifinal action ready to get underway now. The South versus the Midwest. The team from the Midwest, qualifying time a full 10 seconds slower than that of the South. So the onus is on those guys. They're going to have to up their game just a little bit. They want to play ball with a strong team that is anchored by Mel Lentz in the standing block at the end of things.
All the time, we always talk about racing the clock. You gotta forget about the guy next to you. You gotta race the clock. This is a different game. Now all you're thinking about is the team next to you and watching these guys go head to head through each of these disciplines. Been on the phone with the Vegas odd makers. They say there is a chance of an upset here, but it's gonna have to happen right here in this underhand chop. Rob Weibel is gonna need to really pull out all stops and take down Matt Swinglin. It doesn't look so good though. Matty is around already, but has a big wedge of wood at the bottom there. He made the same mistake in the underhand in the first round, and there you see it. He's driving. He's looking for those last fibers.
Looking to turn it over to his dad, Mike Slingerland, who cut an absolutely super speedy single buck in the time trial to see if he can do it again with Carson Bosworth in hot pursuit.
The margin is narrowed here. These guys are running much closer in terms of time than they were in their qualifying round. Carson drives off that single buck. Matt Koger looking to take this standing block off. He's got his work cut out for him. He's up against Melvis, the king of the Lumberjacks, and Mel is around already. Matt may have made an axe change or he's got a little better block. It's going to be Mel.
The South will advance to the final. Mel Lentz with a three-hit advantage, a three-hit head start on Matt Koger. Used that advantage, brought it home for the South.
Well, here you see it again, probably the most pivotal moment in this entire relay, the underhand chop. Weibel needed to pull out all stops and take down Matt Swingerland. Couldn't get the job done, though.
Second semifinal, the Mid-Atlantic team versus the team from the West. Some good matchups there in the Stocksaw. Burnsworth versus Moses. In the underhand, Mike Esch of the Mid-Atlantic team going up against Brandon Sergai of the West. Jeff Skirvin of the West in the single buck taking on Matt Marks. Of course, the two anchors, the standing block, the super strong Arden Koger Jr., Mike Forrester, the guy who may have to run him down, and that's a tall order.
I'm telling you right now, Tom, this is going to be an interesting race. Obviously, these guys are second and third seed. The times are close, and I think we're going to have another close race here. Stocksaw, not much to be won or lost in that discipline. And then you switch it over to the underhand chop. Sergai and Esch, either one of those guys could pull out an upset. Esch looked very impressive in the time trials. Sergai put in a very clean cut as well. I hate to say it, but it's going to come down to the shoulders of Mike Forrester. Can he reel in Arden Koger Jr., the top axeman in the United States?
It's going to be very hard to do. A 1:02 qualifying time for the Mid-Atlantic's 1:04 approximately for the Western team. So the West has got, at least on paper, a 2-second disadvantage. But throw all that out. These teams get to competing, a lot of emotion, a lot of trauma, a lot of adrenaline kicks in. So anything could happen.
Head-to-head synchronized sawing in the Stocksaw. Harry Burnsworth. Wow, just a nanosecond.
Slight edge for Burnsworth. Mike Esch trying to take that and work upon it, build upon it. Brandon Sergai, tough all week long, makes a turn a shade ahead.
Yeah, these guys are synchronized chopping, both putting in about equivalent front faces. Esch has got that block cleaned out. Sergai is pinched in a little bit. That's going to give Esch the advantage when he goes to drive it off. But Esch hangs up. Sergai stumbles and finishes just ahead of Esch.
Jeff Skirvin, Matthew Marks, stroke for stroke so far, looking pretty darned equal. And equal would be just fine with the anchor man for the Mid-Atlantic team.
But Skirvin is pulling ahead through the middle and the bottom of that block, takes it away from Matt Marks. That gives Mike Forrester a small advantage. Arden Koger Jr. bringing the Gurr. Forrester around a full 2 blows ahead. Forrester is scrambling to stay ahead of Jamie Koger.
Look out. Oh, almost. Yeah, it's going to be.
The upset. The West has won.
The West will take on the South for the finals in this team relay competition, the Steel Timber Sports Series, presented by Ram.
How about these guys? The West team, they have an opportunity to repeat. Let's talk about it. One swing, splintered half of the top of the log off. You had to go back for that last hit. Gave Arden almost the opportunity to get it done for his team, but you were able to reset and knock that block.
Yeah, I was pretty well panicking right there when that happened. But I got to give my hats off to Dave Moses here. You know, he comes in off an injury. He's our single bucker, our standing block chopper. Comes back and he's running a heck of a stalks off for us. And Jeff has stepped it up, and being a teammate and a team player, stepping it up in the single buck. These two guys deserve a lot of credit on this team right now.
The Western Regional team really rallying around their injured teammate, David Moses. They're one win away from repeating as relay champions, but Lumberjacks from the South will have something to say about that. The finals for the Steel Timber Sports U.S. Relay Championship are set. The Southern Regional team versus the West when the Steel Timber Sports Series returns.